saw that coming.
All right, you guys, it's Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. Where would you rather be than with the America's favorite pool show, the Cue Tang Clan? With me, as always, is my crack crew, my snipers, Diana and Jeff. How you guys doing?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Good. You know, it's a back-to-back weeks. It's another progression for this show, and I love to make these announcements. In case you didn't see in the opening, or in case you're not looking at our wonderful background here, we've added yet another sponsor. And this is somebody who I think we all vibe with. I think we're all connected to. We had him on as a guest, talking about Greg Hogue in the, say it with me, Jeff, Red Door Den
Training Center.
It's like so.
Just like so.
So I got a great message the other day. I was sitting down. I was eating my breakfast, a nice bowl of Golden Grams. I get a message from Mama Spank. She is like, I believe in my son. I believe in your product. I ain't got much, but I want to help him. And I was like, Mama Spank, say less.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she made a little donation to the cause, you know, something that's going to pay some bills for us because we are self-funded. But I'm happy to announce that we've added the Red Door Den Training Center, courtesy of Mama Spank, courtesy of Greg Hogue. They are now official sponsors of the Cue Tang Clan. So
Awesome.
let's
yeah. I mean,
can we get a little fanfare, Riverside? Still going. See Mama Spank. What an applause. Oh man. All right, take it easy, guys, please.
Yeah.
Let's have a little decorum here. So, Mama Spank, because of you and your generous donation, we're able to continually bring you fresh shows and an audience, a wonderful audience clapping behind us like that.
Live audience, live studio audience.
You guys, thank you for your belief. When I say you got our full support, you guys got our full support. We're a small team, but we're fierce. We're like that high school that got taken over by the Russians with Patrick Swayze. We're the Wolverines. Of pool talk shows. So in order to kick off this new venture the right way, I'm going to start the show with some fresh plugs. Not only can you find Hammer Cues at Hammer Custom Cues on Facebook and Hammer Cues on Instagram. You know, we've been chatting, Greg and Diana. He's sending you messages now like, oh my God, you know, things are taking shape. You know, what type of pin you want, how much do you want the weight to be? And I'm like, oh man, it's taken over back when I was like 13 years old and I used to sneak Playboys and you know, now it's like I'm looking at woods and points and all this shit. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. So Hammer Custom Cues, they're going to bring some stuff to social media pretty soon. Be on the lookout for them. And then my new guys here, Red Door Den Training Center, Greg Hogue on Facebook, Red Door Den Training Center on Facebook, Red Door Den Training Center on YouTube. Great YouTube channel, a lot of drills, a lot of shit that will improve you. But his bread and butter is the Red Door Den Training Center, which my man Jeff here can attest. Yep. You got a meeting with him coming up?
We've rescheduled just because of everything I had going on. So we've pushed it to a date yet to be determined, but hopefully sometime early May. I want to get in there and really grind down on some more work on stuff. And yeah.
But here's something that my man takes pride in his game, and he wants to learn from one of the best. And he makes the drive to Oklahoma to go see Greg. They have you can stay there. They got room and board. I think Mama Spank makes a hell of a pizza, or is that Greg that makes the
It's
pizza?
Greg, yeah,
Greg
makes
that makes the pizza. Mama Spank she'll cook you breakfast.
Yep.
So check out their social medias. Give them a chance. If you want to take your game to the next level, Greg will help you win.
Yep.
Bottom line. And guys, welcome. Thank you, Mama Spank. Thank you, Greg. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Hammer, as always. We'll shout you guys out again. But let's get knee deep in the show. So last week we had one of those wraparound tournaments, one of those 8-day Predator events that went from like Wednesday to Wednesday. The only thing that was in the bag last time we met was the Banks.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Banks.
Yeah.
So what was completed was the Yaleen World 8-Ball Championship, the Women's 10-Ball Championship, and then the mixed doubles. So we're just going to buzz through this stuff to get up to date for everybody. Jeff said last week, this is the year of Bergman. The story of the year thus far has been Justin Bergman. And if you're looking at things in the aspect of a Mosconi Cup calendar, this is your midway point, guys. Am I right? This is the midway point. Like, we're in the home stretch between now and by the time Mosconi teams
it's
are picked.
It's going to get hectic real quick, real fast.
Yeah,
it's coming. Get ready. Next 3 months are just going to blow you away.
The cream's got to rise, and if you're just mulling along and you're waiting for summer to hit, you better get your shit in gear, because it's gonna start ripping.
Well, that's what Emily was talking about all the entire time she was at the expo. So
of course,
it's coming. It's coming.
Emily. For a brief second, I walked by her a few times, and I was almost going to take a picture just to get some social media mileage out of it, but I was like, I can't, man. She's a ghastly person, and she doesn't have a college degree, and I can't be seen with that. I only have friends with higher education.
I would, when she told me that she's going to go around and ask people and ask them if they know about like what WNT stands for and what if they watch a Mosconi, I thought that was going to be like a not a great question to ask, but her answers, the answers that she got were 50-50. It was kind of surprising.
Yeah. That's you're at a WNT ranking event and you don't know what the WNT stands for. That is some epic stuff right there. Like, that has to be embarrassing on her end to be asking that
one
question.
Of the biggest geek out events of the year, and she's asking people what it stands. What does this acronym stand for?
And they don't know.
Yeah.
God, that's bad branding.
Yeah. So we'll get back to her later, but we'll start with the Yaleen 8-Ball World Championship. We'll just coast through this. We talk about Justin Bergman. I thought he finished better than this, but he lost in the round of 32, which is still great. He made it to the knockout rounds. That's if you're a traveling pool player, I mean that should be your number one goal, is to make it to the knockouts.
Right. And it's weird if you watched him play, it's like his play gradually went downhill throughout the tournament, where a lot of times players' games will get better. His kind of went downhill, and I'm thinking it's because I'm thinking the schedule of play and playing at 9 a.m. or playing late and you're just not getting a lot of reps in, and you're just so stretched out over that time. It's hard to keep your focus for 8 days.
And then he's progressing in the mixed doubles, you know, so he's got that. It's probably like a little too much, a little too soon.
Yeah, but it's good.
Yeah,
you got to get out there.
He's in it. It's not like he was on the couch. I mean, he's been out there playing. It's just hasn't been on pay-per-view TV like we're all accustomed to. But anyway, he went out in the round of 8 to Sky Woodward. Jekyll and Hyde Sky. 1 minute he's the guy we all remember from the Mosconi Cup. Pumping his chest, the king of the world, and next minute he's losing to Emil Gangenflot.
I think when he lost in this tournament, where he went out in this round of 16, I don't think he ever made a ball in the break.
Yeah,
you can't win if you can't make a ball in the break.
I see a lot of guys, and maybe you guys can chime in on this. They stick with their same break spot over and over. And then you got guys like Carlo Beato, and I see this. Maybe this is an Asian thing I'm noticing, but they move around. They find the spot. If you're not sinking balls consistently, they move around. Let me try the ball a little here.
SVB didn't move. He wasn't making balls on the break either, and he didn't move his break spot at all. He just stuck with it for 2 matches and didn't make it. It was like, what are you doing, Shane?
He's stone cold. What he does is what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, Justin Bergman went down in the round of 32 to Sky. Just briefly go through the semis. We had FSR versus, I guess you can say, defending champion Albin Ocean. FSR beat him 10-8. That was a good match. You know, you got a guy who's they're both, I think, methodical players. They're both heady players. They play good safeties. I think Albin is a little bit better of a shot maker than FSR, but FSR ties you up. He's like a fucking octopus. You know, he tie you up and he can put you away that way. And then Yap kicked the shit out of Victor Zielinski, you know, 10-4 to set up the final between Yap and FSR. And this was a no-doubter. Aloysius Yap, you know, and another, would they say this is his first world championship and not just a regular championship?
Yes, his first world championship.
Okay. And he
came in third in the 10-ball world championship 2 or 3 years ago. And I don't know how far he's gotten the 9-ball, but this is his first world championship.
Yeah. Obviously, this guy's a baby, and he just won everything last year. You know, the dude still got his baby fat on him. But he's a feel-good story because he's polite. His girlfriend's in the front, sweating every shot. You know, so it's anytime you see these guys who are virtually robots throughout the course of these events, and you have to be. Anytime there's like a little bit of emotion that ties into this story, it's like you automatically want to pull for them. And that's the shit that I think Emily's missing on her side that the PBS embraces. It's the fan aspect, the human connection aspect. You know, we seen Pius and his wife in the crowd last year of a WNT event, and that got so much mileage. You think in something that they're trying to push and to make humanize, they would think more to do it like that. But
yeah, and at the U.S. Open, I was sitting next to Carlo and his wife for, I think, the semifinals. For as far as I know, the cameras never even got on us. Like, I'm sitting here with Carlo Beato. Like, you would think, and his wife and his friends and everything, you'd think they'd focus on that kind of stuff. But
yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. So Aloysius Yap, congrats to him, man. That was a shaky moment. He jumped on that pool table. I was like, this dude ain't climbing shit on the normal.
He's hurt himself before doing it. It's why at the U.S. Open, it's why he didn't want to get on the table, because he hurt himself a few weeks before. I think in Florida or somewhere at one of the events, he hurt himself. He really jacked his leg up, so he doesn't want to do it.
I mean, man, this guy jumped up with knees on there, and he tried to slide himself over instead of just like taking a step. I was like, whoa, you can never be a meter eater, kid. One of the things, I don't know if you can call it a bright spot, especially if your name's Vitaly Patsura, who I think is great. But it is something special to talk about. In the losers qualification round, Carlo Beato beat Vitaly Patsura 8-0. And this is a winner's break tournament. Vitaly didn't get up one time. Not one time. How do you lose in a $100,000 tournament and you haven't get up one time? Do you go back to your room and just start breaking chairs at this point?
No, I think you just laugh. Like I mean, you either break stuff or you laugh. I don't think there's any middle ground. Like, what do you? I can't believe Carlo didn't win the tournament.
Yeah,
I mean,
after
he
a
puts an
performance like that
on somebody, and it's like, well, crap, here he goes. He's got it. It's on him, and no.
And that's to rattle off games like that in 8-ball. You know, I see it as kind of lesser skill than rotation pool, but still, you got all that real estate and everything's covered up with other balls.
Right.
To go 8 in a row like that, man, that's fucking crazy.
I don't think any other player made balls on 8 breaks in a row, let alone.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think the best outside of that was Bergman in his open round. He put together a 4-pack. But
it's not even insane. An exaggeration either. It's not. It's like, oh, he didn't get up to shoot. You know.
No.
He didn't get up to shoot. He sat there the whole time and took this beating. and look, I love it now. I think he's outstanding. I mean, if I was, I would make him a citizen today and put him on the Mosconi Cup and kick off 2-3 people for him. I think he's an outstanding player. For him, you know, to experience that's either going to make him, you know, go crazy like this and want to just start dominating people, or you know, it can get in your head. I don't think he's one of those people to let it get in his head, but still, that's a beating. That's a shit. I got my wallet taken in this one. All right, so that is the 8-ball championship. Aloysius Yap, congratulations to him. That moves us on to the Cybert women's 10-ball. This was there was a lot of good matchups in this, but there was a lot of times in this thing, and I love women's pool. I'm not shy about saying it. I absolutely love women's pool. There's a lot of moments here where I was like, it's just, some of it was like, man, this is taking forever.
That Jasmine Brittany Bryant match took what, 3 hours?
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
that was dear goodness.
I broke out my VHS tapes of Roots.
Yeah,
watched it front to back, and the match was still going on.
Yeah.
That's a for you kids at home, VHS tapes and the movie Roots. Google it. I've got no explanation for 80s fanfare left in me.
But I am happy Brittany. That's the furthest Brittany's made it yet so far in a American match.
Yeah,
she did start off the year winning 2 Canadian titles, but she hasn't won an American title in a few years. Yeah. So this is the furthest she's made it in a while. So I'm really happy for her for that.
She's one of those people who's been around and you constantly pull for. You know, I talk about the 2 bombshell players. You know, her and Emily Duddy. You know, one's going like this and the other one's going like this. You know, as they're progressing into aging a bit. So good on Brittany Bryant. We'll buzz through the quarters real quick. Brittany Bryant beats Chihiro 2-1. Jasmine beat Sosoa 2-1. Same with Zlateva. She beat the Slayer, took out Pia Filler 2-1. And then somebody, and we'll talk about this, just kicked the crap out of Kelly Fisher. And this is Fu Zhang, who is Justin Bergman's partner in the doubles.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to bring this in a minute, and we'll just close out the women's real quick. Briefly into the semis, Fu again, you know, beats Kristina Zlateva. She blanks her 2-0. And then the match we were talking about, Jasmine Ocean versus Brittany Bryant. This was something like they were tied 1-1. Brittany Bryant was controlling that last set. She was up 3-1. I think she was on the 7 or the 8 ball just to close it out. And that funny sport of pool, man, the balls roll funny, and Jasmine Ocean stays in it just when you think she's done. They wind up going to a shootout, and then Jasmine edges her out in a shootout, which sets up the final with Jasmine Ocean and Fu Zhang. And this was something, once again, Jasmine Ocean, super vet. You know, she's 40 years old. She's still fit as a fiddle. Still a competitive player. I think she has more Euro titles than any other player and their friends and their family have combined. You know, so she's a winner. She's a super vet. She just looked out of it, you know, and then Fu, maybe it's the stamina thing we talk about. She had a busy weekend. Mm-hmm. She kind of gave away that last set, which let Jasmine back in it, and Jasmine wound up beating her 2-1. Jasmine becomes your women's 10-ball winner, which is her first Pro Billiard Series victory.
If you would have told me that was her first, I would have called you a liar.
Shocker.
Yeah, I had no idea she had never won one before. I just assumed she had several.
Going on to the mixed doubles, and one thing we were talking about was the Justin Bergman rub. Like he's so hot right now. Anything associated with him is just riding along to the finish with him. And his partner in the mixed doubles was Fu. She goes to the finals, and then her and Justin Bergman go to the finals of this mixed doubles thing. And they wound up, a little bit too much for him, Sosoa, Victor Zelinsky, both Predator players, both been around each other for a long time. Supreme communication, whereas Justin Bergman and Fu, although they played great together, the only communication they had was a high five here and there. So they got edged in that much, but still, who would have picked Justin Bergman and Fu Zhang to be in the finals of that?
No, wasn't there. Didn't even think about it.
Yeah. So
never met before, never played together before. Just came in and said, "We run out," and they did.
How did they become a team? Through ping pong, through like bingo balls or something like that?
Justin reached out to her people. That's how it came about. And originally it was like maybe not going to happen, and they reached back out to him and said, "Hey, we can play. Do you want to play still?" And he said, "Yeah, absolutely. Let's go."
Something like that. And it turns out to get them both a check.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for them.
If they return next year, they're going to come back. Everybody's going to be gunning for them. If they come back as a team, mixed doubles next year, they are going to. That's the team that everybody's going to be like. Yeah. Okay, we got to pay attention now. This is where we got to do our tunnel vision, and we got to we can't let our guard down with this team.
You're right, and this could even start in their next show in Austria. This is the type of year where people who've risen, now they're going to get everybody's best game.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're on the radar. Okay, this kid's back. Okay, this girl, this Fu girl, she's come to play. We're going to test them now. I'm going to gear up for this. So we'll see. This is the type of year. We got the story. We got the feel good event. We see them, rising to the top like this. Now people are going to say, okay,
mm-hmm.
let's see what's going on here. Let's see if this is real. One thing to take away from all the Justin Bergman hype and all the championships of this Predator weekend, what a crazy story. After the mixed doubles event, Sosoa leaps into Victor Zelinsky's arms, like the end of The Notebook.
Yeah.
They were excited about winning. They didn't make out. They didn't kiss or anything like that. She leaps into his arms. They hug. They have an embrace. And all of a sudden, it becomes, they're banging. Robbie Capito, no more. It's Victor's got his girl. So much to where Robbie and Sosoa had to post a picture of them together, like, hey, like we're still an item. This pool gossip colony needs to stop.
Oh, it was a hilarious picture too.
Yeah.
Just funny. It's good stuff from Robbie.
And Robbie, is as good as I think he's progressing as a player. His social media has skyrocketed, man. I don't know if he's got a team or he's doing it with a friend and doing it by himself, but it's a lot of content he's putting out, and it's solid. It's good. So, Robbie, salute, brother. I'm all about supporting other people named Rob C. That's a big goal of mine. Well, all right, you guys, that's the PBS. Let's get into the Super Billiards Expo.
Just one more thing, probably on the PBS. I want to say kudos to the St. Louis fans for coming out for Justin. Wow. What they say
it was like 300 people there for him?
That was amazing. They proved that they were there for Justin because, they did watch other matches, but you can tell when Justin was at the table that the seats were full. The
rub, the Justin Bergman rub, and good on him too, because he's a solid partner. I seen him in the crowd for Foo's final, and it seemed like the women were very supportive of one another in these Predator events.
Yes,
they're always sitting front row. Britt and Christina Zlateva both got their ass kicked, by Foo and Jasmine Ocean, and they were right there in the front row, supporting their coworkers. So I love to see that stuff. Well, on to the Super Billiards Expo. First up, they had a handful of events. Super Billiards Expo is about gear. It's also about the local tap leagues that are going on. They call it the Rally in the Valley, but there's still a points paying event that gets played every year. They call it a bronze event. It pays $15,000 to a winner, but still, nonetheless, it's 175 players. Granted, a whole shitload of them are locals from PA and Jersey and New York. Everybody, this is a big tournament for the local guys in this area. So 175 players, you got to figure like 100 of them are locals, local semi-pros, pros, low-end pros. Nonetheless, still a lot of names. Yap's here, Fedor's here, Vitali, count the stars. Jason Shaw's here. It's still a star-studded event. But it's never really publicized. It was never really broadcasted unless somebody, was filming their own shit on YouTube or something like that. But this was on, what was it, Jeff Billiard Network or something like that?
Yeah,
they were
Billiard
broadcasting
Network
matches.
had it, yeah. And then a few other people had it as well, running through the digital pool app. Because you could have actually paid $20 and streamed every single table of every single match if you wanted to. Yeah, just no commentary, obviously. But
yeah. So it really wasn't kind of a watchable event, but still, you watch some of it. Just some of the notables, and I'll start with the knockout round, and we can blow through these. John Mora, continually great year. Diana's grinning. He beat Max Lechner. Max Lechner's not a slouch. He's a high-end pro. John Mora beat him up 10-6. Victor Zelinsky beat up Jose Atencio, who I seen quite a bit, over the course of the weekend. Man, he was just flying around there, and people were taking pictures with him, having signed autographs. So I mean, he's really like progressing to a high-end player, a popular player. FSR beats Billy Thorpe 10-7. And here's a name that I not really familiar with. He's Polish, so I know he's a killer. But Dominic Jastrab kicked the crap out of Jason Shaw 10-2 in the round of 32. Sanjan Pelinovic takes out Eklund Kachi 10-8. The battle of the on the cusp Mosconi Cup players. Tyler Steyer and Oscar Dominguez. Tyler beats him 10-5. Noyuki Oi continually having a great year. He's taking out some big names this year. Am I right with that, guys?
He's getting him one this year. Well, he's already got one, I think, relatively soon to this year, but he's going to get a real one.
He hooked up with a great company. And he's got a nice cue, and he's got some new gear, and he's been playing great with it. So Noiki Oi, we see you. He beats Albin Ocean 10-6. Pius Labutis takes out a guy who's just always Mr. Steady Eddie. Dennis Grabe beats him 10-8. And the match of this round, and I want to go back and see if I can watch this, but this is two guys you want to pull for, two longtime super vets, and it went hill. Torsten Homan and Neil Fine. Torsten edges him out 10-9. I want to go back and watch this. I mean, it just seems like when you put these two names together, it's like they got a resume like a Santa Claus list.
What's interesting about Torsten, he is under the radar gathering Mosconi Cup points that people don't realize yet. I mean, I'm not saying he's put together a lot of money. He's probably got a couple thousand now, but he's got a little bit of money because not a lot of U.S. players do.
Yeah. And this is an event that Sky wasn't at.
Right.
Billy took a seat early. Dominguez went out early.
Yeah, because the round of 64 did not pay.
Yeah.
You didn't get paid until you got to the 32. So.
Going on to the round of 16. Diana, say it with me. John Morrow once again taking out Fader 10-6.
What? Mostly. Well, I still want to know what happened there. If Fader was just tired or if he had to go back to the booth. But he scratched on the last 3. I think there's 3 balls left on the table, and he just turned around and shook John's hand. So I was like, is he tired, or does he have to be somewhere, or does he just know?
Well, I think you're first and foremost, your main thing is to be in the tournament, to play. These guys aren't in their boots. They're in their boots, but they always leave to go play. Is this a case where Fedor tired, or what? Maybe he called it quits. Maybe he was a few balls away from doom, and he said, "Fuck it."
Yeah, it's a few balls away from doom. You're down big in the set. It's alternate break. It's not like you're just done. You just know it.
Yeah.
You'd still like to see him make John make those balls and call it a day, but
yeah, he kind of he scratched and he just turned around and just shook John's hand. I was like, what? I had to rewind that like 3 different times.
Was really legitimately tired.
Yeah, that's what
because
I was
he
thinking.
Came off of St. Louis, right? Because he played in St. Louis, right? I'm not misremembering. Yeah. You're coming off all those days in St. Louis. You're at the expo running nonstop, and
it's all day. It's doors open at 11, and these guys are in their boots before that till God knows how long, 9, 10, 11 p.m. at night. So it's easily a 12-hour day for them, on top of playing. All right, so John Morrow over Fedor. Victor Zielinski over Yap 10-4. Here he is again, Dominic Jockstrap. Hill 10-9 over FSR. This is a out of the blue for him. Elliot Sanderson, Hill over Tyler 10-9.
That one surprised me.
Yeah.
That's I mean, good on Tyler getting to the final 16, but man, you can't lose to Elliot Sanderson.
Yeah.
You just can't.
There's a few names in here. I was like, man, I'm pretty like into pool, and like I know who's around and all that shit, but a few guys I was like, man, who the fuck are these guys? To the round of 8, John Morrow's luck runs out. He runs into the Victor Zielinski train, who's just been hot recently. Dominic Jockstrap again over Sanjin Pelinovics. Michael Feliciano, the Filipino, over Elliot Sanderson. Hill 10-9. Once again, another Polish player, Hubert Lopatko, 10-6 over Nuyuki Oi. And this sets up, into the semifinals. 4 players, 3 of them are Polish players. I talk about these guys all the time. The Polish players are fucking phenomenal. I don't know what they're putting in their kielbasa, whether it's steroids, but these guys are outstanding. And it looks like is Victor like separating himself from the Polish?
He is, to a degree, because he has to, because he didn't go when the WPA and Matchroom had their little spat. He didn't stick with the Polish Federation.
Oh.
So they were trying to ban him from playing pool. So he had to become
crazy.
So on WPA events, he has to be a neutral competitor. I don't know why Digital Pool has it that way, because Matchroom doesn't have it that way, obviously. But I guess on Digital Pool, it goes off WPA stuff. But
I saw some chit chat in the YouTube live chat while he was playing, if he is going to follow Federer's steps and play for US and get on the Mosconi team on that side. I saw that topic come up a few times.
I think people are just talking to talk. I don't think.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, hey, Poland could have made him that mad. It's possible.
We always get deep in the Mosconi Cup, but this is It would be awesome if to have a player of his caliber on the team, but is anybody American at this point? Is this just a team of mercenaries who have fled to greener pastures?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
As long as we win, but we can't lose if we have a team of mercenaries, all right? Things are supposed to get better with Federer, and they have not. They have gotten worse with Federer. Like, we got to do something here.
Yeah. He's got to feel immense pressure being like the only like real look, I'm not saying real like SVB isn't real, but he's older now. It's not a 25-year-old SVB anymore.
No, SVB just went 2-0 in an 8-ball tournament. Like, what's going on? What's going on in this world? Okay, we gotta.
Yes. I'll take a Polish guy, a Ukrainian, a Venezuelan, whatever it takes, a Canadian.
Well, you can get a North American.
Yeah, North American. Yeah.
I would love that. Let's open up. Let's see how it works out, and then we can let these other guys flood in.
Or just let Alex coach the team. Let Pagulayan coach the team.
If I heard correctly, I think Josh Filler is moving to Brooklyn. Oh my God.
Is he going to go to Connecticut with Shaw afterwards? I mean,
that's so funny to me. I think we talked about it in the last show. He couldn't hate America anymore during the course of the Mosconi Cup, but the city next to his name says Orange, Connecticut on it, and it's like, if you hate America that bad, wouldn't you want them to edit that out? Anyway, 3 Polish players in the semifinals. Victor ends the incredible run for Dominic Jockstrap, and then Hubert Lopatko, Hill over Michael Feliciano. Polak versus Polak final for the Diamond Open Championship, and Victor Zielinski beat the crap out of him 10-4. Great time for Victor Zielinski right now. He's really rising, really peaking when you should be peaking. I'm curious to see where it goes. I think these guys can be world class. I know they're world class, but can they be like filler level world class? Can they get in there and compete with those guys? Or not just an event where there's no filler. Jason Shaw's busy, Fader's busy.
Man, and Victor just took down the doubles, takes this down. Victor can do it.
He's taking trophies. He's taking girls. All right, that's your Super Billiards Expo. They had a bunch of there's a desk there. It looks like the NFL draft war room of just people filling out brackets and shit like that. It's like a whole wall. It's madness. The Super Billiards Expo this year, I went on Thursday. Thursday's always been the light day. Like, everybody gets into town, but it was like a weird vibe because it was so packed. I normally park up front, there's no problem. Man, I walked like almost 2 miles from where I parked to get to the door. There was so many people there, and it was just madness, absolute madness. And I got there maybe a half hour after the doors opened. Insane. People weren't set up. You can tell some people got in late from St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
There was just some booths that weren't even set up yet. And most of this shit is done 2 days before, a day or two before. And then you get to Thursday and then you're just rolling through the weekend. So Super Billiards Expo was I was through there like a mercenary. I stopped at all the places I want to hit. It was funny. One point I got in there and I just had my camera and I'm just walking up and down the rows, videotaping everybody. And it comes to a point right in the middle of the expo center where all the booths are. Me and Molina Mike run into each other like this. I'm holding my camera, he's holding his camera, and he's got the recording glasses on.
Oh yeah.
And I go, "Hey, Molina Mike," and it's we were both doing the same thing. It's great minds think alike. Two guys that are just trying to get all the content absorbed and everything like that. We're just running through there like rats in a maze. That was funny to see. But I love Super Billiards Expo. I feel like this is the chance for like you to go pick up everything. Everybody's got a booth. Everybody's got a table. Go fucking grab a cue, start swinging it around. This way, if you want to buy something, like I like that. I'm not just going to limit myself to getting Predator or Cue Tech or whatever's the cheapest. I like that because I tried it out compared to everything else. And, now I know, it's like a fact-finding mission. When I didn't want to play with Predator shit no more, I went through there and hit every store I could. I just wanted to swing around as many cues as I possibly could, so I can judge what I like. If I'm going to spend good money, I need to know what it's going to be on. I don't want to play with it for a week and you go, oh man, this fucking sucks, dude. Now I'm deep into it. One of the things I was adamant about going to the Super League Expo for was the Alex Pagulayan. Just not only the shaft that everybody talks about, the pristine shaft, but he's got 100 other products. He's like Fader to the fact where it's like every other product that you've seen on the market, they have now, they've rebranded and they've released it, as their own. Alex Pagulayan has racks out, like the template racks that everybody has. They're exactly the turtle rack.
Yeah,
but
they say Pagulayan on it.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of being white, they're black. He's got socks, boxers, belts. He's a mogul now. I don't know if it gets to a point where he's like, you know what, I'm going to come up with the best sock for pool because I've been a pool player my whole life, and I like a nice cotton undersole, and then he creates socks that way. But I don't even know if it's like that. I think it's just at a point where you're just collecting products to throw your name on.
Well, you never know. In a few years, we could have the Pagulayan open. He might be heading in that way. We could see it.
Yeah, the Pagulayan Cup. What the big thing with Pagulayan obviously is the shaft. Everybody raves about the shaft. I put out a video. You can click anywhere on this channel and watch my video. I got to spend a good 20 minutes with not just the shaft, but the guy who created it, Greg DeBora. I can't remember, Diane, if he was from Montreal. I couldn't really make out the accent. It sounded kind of Russian, but then at the end of the day, it sounded a little French Canadian. He told me all about the shaft, how they created it. Very intriguing stuff. There's a couple moments we're speaking and we made a good compelling arguments to each other when he was talking about vibration and dull sounds, and I was like, yeah, like Revo and Synergy, and he goes, yes. I think that's everything in those shafts that are so popular now, but they suck. I think this is everything he was trying to get away from in creating the shaft. And I don't want to ruin it for everybody because I think everybody has a different opinion on what they like. I thought the shaft hit great. Nice pop to it. I was like, man, wow, this is pretty solid. I'm really firing these balls in, but I hated the way it felt. He did a test. I was like, man, this thing kind of feels plasticky. It feels light. It feels plasticky. And then he did this thing where he's talking about the vibration and the impact foam that they have inside. He threw the shaft up and he let it bounce on the table. And the sound I heard was like, man, I know that sound. Just a couple weeks ago, we had frozen pipes and we had to replace the pipes in the house. And we had to replace it with this PEX piping. And if you guys ever felt this PEX piping before, like it's plastic piping. As soon as I came home, I couldn't run to get this piece of piping fast enough because the way this sounds when you drop it and the way it feels was exactly how I felt with that shaft. It just didn't feel like it was actual carbon fiber to me because I can take out any carbon fiber shaft from my bag and throw it on the floor and table, and it's going to sound like wood because it's that like charcoal-y, kind of quality. But as soon as I touched that shaft and I heard it, I was like, man, that feels like PEX piping. And who knows what the fuck they're using? It hit great. I know he said they had a really good ferrule on there and a tip that they've created on their own. Smart guy. You can tell in the course of that video, like the dude's just like, he's been working on something since along the lines in the shafts like since the 90s. Like he's really one of those inventors. He's a wood guy. He builds guitars and all this shit. He's into like resonance. Really smart guy. Let the shaft speak for yourself. Greg talks about the shaft. He can't come up with enough money quick enough to order that shaft.
Loves it.
He's like, that's the next, ever since chalk was created, like that's the best item to come out. But yeah, that's the Pagulayan stuff. The suitcase, I sent you guys a portion of the video with the suitcase.
Yeah.
It just great idea. But it was like the consistency of like a plastic kiddie pool. I felt like it was going to break.
That's unfortunately what I thought about it when I finally saw the video of it at the BCA. I was like, man, I don't know. It doesn't look right.
Yeah, I was sitting there tapping on it, and it was just like like a very like there's nothing in it. It's obviously hollow, but
still a good quality suitcase feels like a good quality suitcase. Like what those feel like.
Yeah.
This just can't be it, unfortunately. Make it like a good quality suitcase, and you'll have something there.
But this is good though. This is how you perfect things. Like I love Dodge cars and I love Mustangs, and the first Mustang wasn't great at all. It takes a point of building and hearing what people got to say about it to get to a point where you go, okay, as a creator and as an inventor, it's like you see things like this in a tunnel.
Yes.
And then it's when things start popping off to where it opens up like these arteries of thinking.
Yeah,
to where you can build on it.
He'll redesign that suitcase, and when he does, I'll buy it because I fly with my pool cues so much that I want something like this because it's better than a duffel bag, which is what I use now. It works great, but I want something hard clamshell like this to be able to fly with and put other stuff in besides just my cues.
Yeah. And it's a good, you can get your cue bag in there. You can put a good week's worth of clothing and a pair of shoes in there. Like it's solid. Like if you're looking for one piece of equipment that's unique to the traveling pool player, that's got to be it.
Yeah.
But the great thing about Alex is he'll actually take reviews and he'll actually listen to them. Unlike some business owners are like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. This is the way I'm designing it. This is the way I want it to be done. Alex is the kind of person that he's actually going to listen to what the people have to say about his product, and he's going to reinvent himself over again, or not reinvent himself. He's going to fix the problem that everybody's having. And we're probably 2 or 3 suitcases down the road, we'll probably have exactly what we want.
Yeah. Alex wasn't there when I was in the booth because I was there early on the first day, but he got there later, and still it was like he took the time to talk to everybody, talk about the shaft, talk about the suitcases and the trinkets and everything like that. Had a very nice case, very nice butterfly case. I think they called like the charcoal case. He seems to like really care about what people had to say about it, and it's exciting for him. He's also got a butt to go along with the shaft. I think they're selling the butt. It's like just a standard Bacote butt with the grip on it. I think he said like $695 or something like that. And they have a maple shaft they developed.
Yeah,
also. That you can turn down yourself. Like it's almost like a blank it's a usable shaft, but it's almost like a blank canvas to where you can, like, if I want a pro taper or if I want it more conical, you can just have it turned down however you want it, which I thought was cool. Obviously he's got the pristine shaft, and they're working on a brake shaft, so they got a lot of good stuff coming out of the pipeline. Whether we can sit here and nitpick it or not, obviously we're going to do that. We're professional critics at this point, but I'm excited to see where that goes. The other place that I went to that I absolutely loved, and Florence and Molly in that booth, outstanding to me. We were chatting, days before the event, and even when we got there, they were so nice to me and so helpful and welcoming. I'm talking about the girls at the How booth. Very good products, man. I can't speak highly enough about How stuff. I think they're over just putting bullshit out there. Everything they put out is good.
Yes.
Just wanted to briefly show you guys what I got. I wound up buying a Cue from them. To get they have a new shaft. It's called the Flash carbon fiber shaft, and they have a new version of it, which is a pro taper. Obviously, How tips I've been playing with for over a year now, and I can't say enough about them. Shane Van Boning has his own How tip now, so they have the How Black, the How Titan, and then the blue, which is the Shane Van Boning tip. But this is a How extension. My Viking extension, whether I want a 2-inch extension or I want a 12-inch extension, it's $170.
Right.
Predator extensions, whether you want a 2-inch extension or whether you want a 12-inch extension, they're like $130 a piece. How extensions are $50, no matter what. A lot of people play with like a 2-inch, 3-inch extension on their shaft, at all times. So what they do is they make their shafts intermingling, their extensions intermingling. So I have a 3-inch extension and I have a 10-inch extension. I play with this on my Cue at all times. And if I really need the extension and I really need to excel for the shot, you can screw them right into each other. Like, so I have a 3-inch and then a 10-inch here. It's like a 13-inch extension if I wanted to mount more on here, I can mount more on here.
You could make your Cue Earl size if you wanted
right.
to.
I can have this thing look like the Javelin from Revenge of the Nerds if I want. I just think they're good products. They're solid products. I'm in love with this shaft. Not only do I love the tip, but this shaft. If I were to tell people to spend $800 on the pristine shaft, or you can go over the How booth and spend $400 on that shaft, I would say go buy the How shaft and then, go have a party at a strip club with the rest of the money.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the How shaft, pro taper. Obviously, they got the How tips on it. I love this thing. The butt is not the most high-end butt in the world, but this shaft is outstanding. And very tough company to get stuff from. Obviously, they're China-based. I think Molina Mike was bringing some of their products over in the future. They're very fond of him. But I'm excited to see more and more people play with him. Noyuki Oi does better. He brings more eyes to the product. I think they got a couple players with tips, Filler, SVB using their tips. A celebrity like myself is using their tips. So I'm excited to see where their R&D goes and how much more products they put out in the future. But on top of that, I mean, Super Village Expo, I don't know if you guys have any questions about booths or anything like that. I bounced around to everybody.
Did you two things? Did you happen to get by the Mez Cue booths and see their tennis shoes or their pool playing shoes?
I did not see the shoes.
Okay, all right. I was just curious because so many of these pro events have restrictions on shoes. They have to be all black shoes, et cetera, et cetera. So Mez came out with an all black shoe. I was just curious what it actually kind of seemed like, because it makes sense. If you're, pool tournaments require players to wear all black shoes, pool company making all black shoes kind of fits in line. And then did you happen to get your hands on the new Peach Hour Jump Cue?
The Peach Hour booth was out of control this year. Most of the time,
so.
It's usually April Larson there, but she was off doing hay ball. Al-Kaidi was there briefly. But when I was there, it was absolutely nuts. And it wasn't over a grown-up. Sophia Mass was there.
Yeah.
She has a new line of cues in the Champions collection of Peach Hour, and she was unveiling her cues at that exact minute. So they had it all roped off.
Okay.
She was doing autographs and everything like that. That was probably the one booth I didn't get into to look at all the cues and everything like that, because she was holding court at that time. And I was looking at the cues online. think they're like $2,000 to $3,000. Look, as a middle-aged man, for a 16-year-old, 17-year-old girl who's on the scene, but she's not really like a champion in our sport yet, for her to have like such an expensive signature cue, I think it's like overkill at this point. I know they're just capitalizing on her popularity, but it's like, man, that's like, win something with this Sneaky Pete, and then we'll talk, bird's eye maple with pink stripes and everything like that. But I don't know. Who the fuck am I to say who can have what? But it was cool to see it, to see some popularity for our sport and the people in it. Look, I want them to be celebrating the old timers, the legends of the sport first before we let the kids come in the door. Just like Diana pointed out the other day in the finals of the one of the PBS events, she goes, "Is that Ella?" And I think me and you were like, "Who the fuck are you talking about, Ella?"
Oh, I know. I don't.
5-year-old.
Yeah, I have opinions on that, and it has nothing to do with her. But I have opinions on that I don't. Yeah.
They had the other one.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of children playing pro sports at that young age, but what that little lady can do with a pool cue.
Oh, she's good. There's no doubt.
She's great. But there's a reason why you shouldn't get kids playing that much sports at that young. I mean, like, I'm going to support that little lady, but I also think they also need a childhood too.
Yeah, let him be a kid.
And maybe don't have them on social media every 30 seconds posting about them. I think you have to have some kind of balance there where it's just, it can be too much for the kid, and you don't want them necessarily exposed to all of that fast, for sure.
Yeah, everybody's looking to go viral and get involved somehow. They had the other little girl there, the little black girl, little 5-year-old girl, Tiggy Diamonds, in the Predator booth. They bring the little step for them so they can step up there and hit balls. It's cute to see, but it's like, man, there's so many more people like who have been giving their fucking blood to this sport who deserve half of this shine. If this is the way to grow it, look, I'm all for it, but we got to give love to our pillars first.
Mm-hmm.
Just speaking as an old man.
Yep, but speaking of April Larson, she got 8th, I think, in the Hay Ball Open.
Did you guys see who won it?
Yeah.
Do you remember? Maybe a couple months ago, I was like, man, this girl got slaughtered in a women's pool event. But I seen how she was shooting, and she had a fucking stroke on her. And sure enough, I was keeping an eye on this event, and she wound up winning it. Her name's Marion Jude.
Mm-hmm.
Cute little girl. She got the glasses. I don't know if she's in her 20s or something like that. But man, I was like, she gave me the vibes like when I first seen Karen Core come over and play in WPBA events. It was like they had that snooker stroke about them, but you can just tell, like, man, as soon as they get it, she's going to cause problems. And that's what I see with the girl who won that 8-ball, the Marion Jude. I'd really like to see where she's going to go with that. That's about it, you guys. I don't know. There's a lot of Super Billiards Expo. There's a lot of custom cue makers. I think they give it away an award. Paul Drexler had a booth. Roberto Franco had a booth. Like all these little guys, Cohen cues. Let's say little guys, but I think people think about if it's not Predator or it's not Cue Tech, it's not good. But there's so many high-end cues out there that are fucking stunning. And just looking at Paul Drexler's cues, like the way like the ripples in the wood are accentuated, and he has one. It's a roulette table on the butt of the cue. Oh my God, I see these things. And you know what? You see the prices on them, $3,000, $5,000. You think to yourself, like, who's going to buy that? And then you walk around Sunday and you see the little tags they have on them, and it says sold, sold, sold. Every one of these things are sold because not only are they works of art, but they're good cues. you haven't really hit a pool ball until you hit it with the hand. Yourself a favor in life and check that out.
Well, Melina put that very beautiful cue out. I can't even remember who made it now. That pudding cue, that Harley Quinn inspired cue. As soon as he put that up and he veiled how like all the work that went into it, I think he's put another video up like not even an hour later saying it was sold.
Yeah, he's probably one of the biggest champions for handmade custom cues.
Really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was to actually, everybody thinks that yeah, Predator cues are the best cues. No, I want like a Shelby cue, or I want a Treadway cue, or I want the black cue. What's it? Billy? It's not Billy Black.
The Wesley Snipes cue.
It's, it's the other gentleman that takes like a couple of years to make a cue. It's like anyways, it's like the black name is in it. I can't remember the first name in it. Anyways, but yeah, he made the Tiffany line, and if I were to ever get my hands on one of those cues, I'd probably be the happiest girl in the world. So when people talk about cues, I'm like, are you just going to just talk about Predator, or there's other cues out there? Like no smack against like McDermott or anything like that, but there's like and that's just on this continent. Can you imagine how many more cue makers there is over in Asia? If you type in cue maker now into Facebook, you're not just going to get just Predator. You'll get a couple hundred hits now. And it's not like it was 20 years ago. It's getting as big as the players are getting as big, because 10 years ago we would know that we were only going to be like watching Josh or Tyler or Shane in the last like couple brackets, and we know that we're going to watch it. But now the cues are getting so much showcase and so much like attention, which is great, which I love it.
Usable art.
It is usable art. Or like, yeah, they're classifying them as functional art. Yeah, it's great.
You know, speaking of custom cues and all that, one of the nicest custom cues I ever seen. I forgot where it was made it, but it was Rodney Morris was so infatuated with Ralph Eckert and him being the Pink Panther. He had this pink custom cue made, which I think he wound up selling at the expo this year. And just speaking of Rodney Morris, Jeff, has he become the new Earl Strickland? Does he ever stop bitching about anything anymore?
I don't know. It's every time he plays now, it feels like he's got to complain about it. Yeah. And I'm not saying they're not all justified. I'm not saying they're not justifiable complaints sometimes, but it's pretty consistent here that if he plays in a tournament he's not used to, he's going to complain about it.
A couple of years ago, he completely shit on Pia after she beat him. It's like every few months, it's like, here comes Rodney again. Yeah. And it's not like he's just some dumpy guy. I mean, look, he's a big name in the sport.
And he Rodney Morris. And he still plays good.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a few months back, he played in a split bracket tournament, and he just came unhinged about it, because how could he ever win with his handicap? Well, you're not a victim here. You went and you signed up knowing the rules, or at least you should have known the rules when you signed up. And then apparently he didn't know the rules of the Expo tournament because he didn't realize it wasn't a true double elimination, that it went down to a single elimination bracket at 64 people. And he was upset that he lost to a guy who had already had a loss and he hadn't had a loss yet. Well, that's the way these tournaments work. And it's the way they've worked for years and years. You can't let this surprise you.
If we see him playing with like pool noodles taped around the butt of his cue, we can really, like, Joe Rogan's gonna have to do a Rodney Morris impression now.
Yeah. it's something.
Any more, you guys? You got any more interesting items on the docket? Have we covered the pool?
Yeah. I did hear Earl Strickland was being quite nice while he was at the expo. I hear he was like shaking hands and taking pictures and generally being a nice guy and not
Earl
being
is at the Jay Flowers booth, and I gotta say, if there's a crowd around, Earl is the man. If he's losing in a match, stay away. But he's a sociable guy, sociable, friendly guy.
Very sociable. But a lot of times you're just gonna get a random rant from him about nothing,
right?
When you just are polite to him. But he seemed very even keeled, if you will, for this every interview I saw him give.
Who knows? Maybe the Lexipro's kicking in.
Got him on some lithium or something. I don't know, but something about him just seemed even, which Earl is not an even person, even being friendly and nice. So this was definitely different.
Is there a pool world we're living in where the Earl is friendly?
I don't want to be in it, actually. It's just
Earl's on good behavior. Jason's on good behavior. Oh, what? Yeah, who's going to be the next? Who's going to be the next jerk?
Well, somebody. Shaw can't stay nice for too long.
It's going to be November.
He was yelling at somebody in the crowd at the pro billiards thing anyway. So we've already.
Yeah, getting cranky in his old age. Just wants to sit home and work on that belly.
He's doing a good job of it. He's
outstanding job.
He's catching up with me.
All right, you guys, that about does it for our time here. We're like 10-10 wins for pool. You give us an hour, we'll give you the world. Look, we spoke about him in the beginning. Please check out our sponsors. They mean the world to us. I'm so excited to be with who we are because I think the world ordained it that way. Hammer Cue, we've been talking about him for a while. He's one of the most respectful people, probably the most respectful person in the pool industry. And obviously we love Greg. So please check them out. Hammer Custom Cues on Facebook, Hammer Cues on Instagram. We're going to see a lot more from him coming up soon. Obviously, he's working on a cue for me, which I'm so pleased to be a part of. He's going to start doing his social media, and we're going to see content of my cue and all that stuff, and it's going to snowball quick for him. So please be on the lookout for him. And then, of course, let's say it, you guys. The Red Door Den Training Center.
Oh, yeah.
It's like so. Mama Spank, thank you for believing in us to want to be a part of what we do. We support Greg very much. We like Greg very much. As soon as I met him on here, I was like, man, I'm going to be friends with this guy for a long fucking time. He's just like me. Although I haven't had my hands mauled by a dog in quite some time. Stay away from the dogs, Greg.
It was his Chihuahua that got him.
Oh my God! I thought it was an old post. He said he got bit. I was like, man, is this from like a week ago? No, he's out there trying to be Caesar Milan instead of stick to the pool cue, Greg. Anyway, Red Door Den. Check out Greg Hogue on Facebook. Red Door Den Training Center on Facebook. Check out his YouTube channel, Red Door Den Training Center. And then Red Door Den Training on Instagram. If you want to impress your pool game and bring it to heights like you've never had it before, give Greg a call. What do you got to lose? Draw for show, follow for dough. Hit up Greg. That's it for me. You guys got anything else?
I got nothing.
Have we squeezed the sponge on this on the pool world this week?
I think we have.
By the way, you can get my new shaft. It's called the Gangster of Pool Pristine shaft.
Oh,
$8.95 for those interested. You guys got to message Diana, and she'll send me the invoice. All right, you guys. It's been a blast. We will see you again on the flip side.
Yes, sir.
Take care.